Hey, my loves, and welcome back to the Know Who You Are podcast. I am your host, Tamisa D, and over here on this podcast, it is a production of me journaling out loud. Yes, I am sharing my daily and weekly life lessons with you guys and putting them into context so that we can all learn, grow, and flourish together. So listen, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and join the family so that we can support one another and build a community where we can help each other on our growing journeys to becoming our greatest selves, right? Join the family. Now listen, do I have a conversation piece for you guys today? We are discussing, are you feeling stuck? Are you in the head space? Are you in the physical space? Are you in that job? Are you just in a relationship, in a place in life where you feel stuck? You feel like you can't go left and right. Your situation is feeling claustrophobic. You're feeling like everything is closing in around you. There's no movement. There's no growth. What is happening right now? Why can I grow? Why does everything feel stagnant? I want to encourage you, although I may sound like one of those infomercials right now. Are you feeling stuck in life right now? Call this number. We can help you out. No, it's not that. I want to explain something to you. You are not stuck. You are planted. You are planted in that position right now in your life for a reason. You are purposed there. There is a lesson there that you may be overlooking that you need to grasp onto that's going to help elevate you to that next level. Now, I really want to focus in today on being quote unquote stuck in that job that you necessarily feel like you have outgrown, or you feel like it's more to you. You have that mind of expansion. You have that mind, the growth mindset where you want more and you know there's more for you. You just don't necessarily know how to get there yet, right? I want to encourage you that everything that you're making in this position that you're in right now, that you feel like you have outgrown, take that money and really evaluate, when I get my payroll, what exactly am I doing with it, right? And where I'm leading to is, after, outside of you paying your bills and things like that, all the money that you would typically go and waste on shopping and eating out, getting your nails done, all those, try, I say, for a good solid month and just see how it goes. Eliminate extra expenses outside of paying your bills and tithing and your offering, and take as much as you can and reinvest it in yourself. And this idea came because I was heading to work and I saw a sign that said recognize and reward. And I went to thinking, right? Recognize and reward. Recognize and reward. Your desire, I wrote it down actually. Your desire to elevate by immersing yourself into new environments, exposure is vital to growth. So I went to thinking about payroll and making payroll and getting the finances to come into the house and to filter them into everything they needed to be done, and really figuring out where personally is my money going, right? What am I reinvesting my funds in? Because you go to work, you punching in, you're working 8, 10, 12, 14 hours, however long shifts, sometimes doubles, and you work hard for that money. You work hard for them to earn those finances within that time frame that you're working for this company. So allow your money to be a tool to work for you. And sometimes you have to start where you are. Right now, I have the idea that it's time for exposure. It's time to get into new rooms. It's time to get into new places. And sometimes you can't just walk in. Sometimes you have to pay for your seat at that table. Sometimes in order to go to these masterminds and to go to these conferences and things like that, it costs money to get into the room. So let me give you an example. Say, for instance, you're an entrepreneur and there's a mastermind or a conference coming up, and typically money would be tight for you. You wouldn't be able to afford this on a regular day. But if you do envelope stuffing, let's talk about finances. If you do envelope stuffing If you take $100 out of every pay week and you put this aside and say, this is reinvesting into my mindset, this is going to reinvest into my mindset, which ultimately is going to be a huge return on investment, because I'm building my character, because I'm building and growing in self-development, and I'm becoming a better person because I'm expanding my mind by positioning myself in rooms and environments that I typically couldn't just walk into. You're going to be able to expand your mind. You're going to be able to open your eyes to see something different, and to see how other people live, and to see how other people move and do business. And that is very vital to your next level. That's very vital to your success. Now, some people like to say self-made. I feel like nothing is made outside of God. We're all God-made. And when God gives you a thought, idea for expansion, that does not go without exposure. Because first of all, God is exposing you to that new process of thinking. That's exposure right there. So now you have to do your part, and you have to emerge yourself into new environments outside of what you typically see, outside of what you typically know. And you can't be afraid to step into these rooms and really allow yourself to evolve in a new way, in an eye-opening way. And I thought about the analogy of being planted, right? You know, when you have a plant that starts off, say you get a plant when it's a young plant and it comes in a little pot, and that plant begins to grow. What's going to happen? It's time to repot that plant. So you have to uproot, what has already grown, the soil, and you repot it in a bigger pot that's conducive to the plant's growth spurt that it's going to have eventually, now that it has more room to grow. Give yourself more room to grow. Give yourself grace enough to grow. Right? Give yourself grace enough to grow, and allow yourself to continue to expand through exposure. Immerse yourself into these new environments. Use the finances that you currently have. Get out of the lack of mindset saying, I do not have enough, because God desires for us to inherit the land. God desires for us to be fruitful and to multiply. God says in the word of the Bible, it says, you should be like a tree planted by the roots of water, where your leaves should not wither nor I have to pull it up because I want to quote that correctly. But all in all, you're supposed to grow, you're supposed to prosper, you're supposed to flourish. And when you're in alignment with where you're called to be, that's what you're going to produce. You're going to produce the fruits of the Spirit. You're going to produce the fruits of prosperity. You're going to continue to grow and flourish, but it's going to cost you to invest in yourself. What are you investing in yourself? How much are you pouring back into yourself financially? Once you learn something in your mind, can't nobody come take that away. Nobody. You could go in Barnes and Nobles right now. You could pick up a book, and you could sit in there and you could read this book for free if you currently do not have the money to purchase that book. You could dedicate your time going into Barnes and Nobles, picking up a self-development book, picking up a Christian book, learning about God, whatever it is to expand your mind. You could go in Barnes and Nobles. There's no excuse why you cannot expand your thinking ability. The knowledge is literally at our fingertips. You could click on your smartphone and go to Google and type in a topic, and information is going to pop up. Now, you got to be careful what you click on and read now, because everything ain't going to sit well with your spirit if you got discernment. But for the most part, knowledge is at our fingertips. What are you seeking? What are you planted in? Right? Give yourself enough grace to expand. Give yourself enough grace to say, you know what, I may be afraid to step into this new room with all these people who are in alignment with where I feel God is taking me. I might be fearful stepping into that room, but I'm going to do it. You have to expose yourself to something new, whether it's new knowledge, whether it's new places, new environments, new thought processes, right? New habits. You must immerse yourself. You must invest in yourself and understand to give yourself grace to do it. Get outside of feeling stuck And if that thought come up that I'm stuck, ask yourself, am I really stuck, or I'm just planted here to learn in this season? There's a lesson that I'm missing, right? Really dive deep within yourself and ask yourself this question, right? All right, my loves, I know this one has been a short one, a short, sweet, quick to the point message. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next podcast. But listen, before I go, how can I forget this? I want you to remember, and I want you to know who you are, and know that you are loved, you are beautiful, you are worthy. And understand that right now you are not stuck, you are planted. And if it's time for you to grow and expand, all you have to do is uproot and replant into that bigger, expanded place. That could be your thinking ability, thinking bigger. That could be you stepping into bigger rooms that you actually had to invest your finances in and purchase a ticket to step into that room. But it's going to be necessary and conducive to your next step, to your growth, right? All right, I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.